Hello.
Hi,
I'm B Star.
and I'm D Dubs,
And I am a Christian.
and I'm not. Tonight we're having a listen to some Iron Maiden, a legendary band, a legendary tune. Being a metalhead, I have heard the song before, but I honestly am not a Maiden fan. We'll save some explanations for later. I know there's a lot of metalheads out there. If there's anybody watching this one going, fucking Maiden. Anyway, this is Bobby's first time. And so being a Christian, I thought, well, let's listen to Number of the Beast, right? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, perfect, since we're in the end times right now anyways.
All right.
Or the latter days. That's the word.
In the time of the beast?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll have to read up more on that again. But
Okay.
yes.
All
Let's
right.
see what they say about it.
I haven't never really followed along to the lyrics, so I'm kind of
All
looking
right.
forward to that. Let's check it out.
Woe to you, O earth, sea, for the devil sends the beast with wrath, because he knows the time is short. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666.
I left alone. My mind was blank. I needed time to think, to get the memories from my mind. What did I see? Can I believe that what I saw that night was real and not just fantasy? Just what I saw in my old dreams were the reflections of my Walkman staring back at me. 'Cause in my dreams, it's always there. The evil face that twists my mind and brings me to despair.
The voice. Yeah.
His
Okay.
range is huge.
Huge.
And you wouldn't know that by the beginning part that's so low.
Right, and honestly, it's mostly the high stuff that I remember, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I never got too much into to Iron Maiden. No offense to Bruce Dickinson, the guy is absolutely incredible. Just the new wave of British metal was never really my thing, but so not really knowing the song too well, that lower part in the intro, I was like, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Was that him?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I honestly thought it
Absolutely.
was Vincent Price.
No, sorry, not that part, not the
Oh,
the
the
spoken
spoken-
word
oh,
intro,
okay.
but the lower end of the verses.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is him
I
talking, though.
think it might have been, but I'm
He
not
sounds British.
100%.
Is this singer British?
The whole band is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first part is biblical.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it may even be word for word, depending on whose version that you're talking about in the Bible. But
Okay.
biblical, the number of the beast sets it up. But then, so far, nothing. Like
Yeah.
he's had a vision of some sort, but he's not really sure what it is, or if he's just so.
Yeah, I think he's a little confused as to what's going on.
Ooh, in my dreams, it's always there, the evil face that twists my mind and brings me to despair. You know how I've talked about this dream lover and this way that a demon can come to you via a dream.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, maybe. Let's find out. Let's keep
right.
going.
Life was black, was no use holding back, 'cause I just had to see was someone watching me. In the mist, dark figures move and twist. Was all this for
Okay, we're getting a little more into it now in these
Definitely.
verses, and it's not just a vision, unless this is the vision that he's having, is of this.
He is speaking in past tense, so unless he's talking about, hanging out at a previous session. No, when he got to those specific
Just what I
parts,
saw in my
torches
old dreams.
blazed, sacred chants were praised.
I know, but and before he talked about this being in his dreams, or was it a fantasy?
Right, yeah.
So is he witnessing this ritual? Thank you. In real life, or is he still talking about this dream that he had, or perhaps putting it in the form of a dream, so that you can pretend that it's not real when it actually is real?
Perhaps.
And with that whole Illuminati, like, you have to reveal what's going on to people, but perhaps in a sort of clouded
Cryptic way?
Yeah.
Yep.
So could that be a way of talking to people about what actually happens during a ritual? But if anybody asks about it, you'd be like, it's just a dream I had. It was just a song. That's what I think about when I read this stuff.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't think the lyrics are really that great.
Okay.
I
Fair
feel like
enough.
some of them are being pushed.
Right.
Versus it
In
really
terms of
feeling
the
like
delivery or the actual writing, the composition of
Both.
the lyrics?
both.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel it's like a little bit like the metal song that I wrote in high
Okay.
school,
Yeah.
which is not that great. And me just going like, this is what a metal song sounds like, and what it's supposed to be about.
Right.
And that's what this sounds like to me.
Okay.
Why does someone choose to write like this?
I'm trying to remember because I looked at a bunch of articles and I was looking up bands who are notoriously viewed as being satanic but are actually not. And I can't remember if this song popped or if Maiden popped up on that list or not. It very well could have been. I don't think they are. And I mean, the fact that you're picking up on this kind of being forced in terms of the writing of it, kind of lends to them not being Satanists, really. I mean, a lot of people wrote about crazy shit that they didn't actually do or believe. I know I have. You have too. So, well, that song you were just talking about.
But it's not something that I wasn't like writing as if it wasn't my experience.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll have to find that sometime.
Yeah. Shall we get
Yes, let's get going. Okay.
back up just
All
a
right.
smidgen
really?
here? Well, just a little bit. Okay, you're kind of just lucky you didn't get a drum solo there too. I mean, you had both guitars and the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really forgot about that aspect. That's one of the good things about having the two guitarists in the band. I think there was at least two.
I was going to ask you, were those two guitarists?
Be able to go, yeah, and they
Yeah.
each kind of take their turn soloing. And
I
then,
think anyone with one guitarist would do two guitar solos back to back. Like
oh
that?
hell, why not? Yeah, different tone. Go over and switch it up. Yeah,
But right prior to that was like this repetitious
it was
for no
your
reason.
little lead up, I guess.
It was. I was like, yeah, get on with it. At least mix something up in there.
Okay.
And I'm glad that you brought the bass to my attention because sometimes I forget about listening for the bass.
Yeah.
And through those solos, and right before the solo, I was just like, yeah, this is the part of the song I can really get into. It was because of the bass. And then I was basically listening to the bass through those solos.
Right now, his name is slipping me, and I'm going to get slighted for that, I'm sure. But he's absolutely phenomenal.
Who?
The bass player.
Oh.
Yes, I can't remember his name.
Okay.
All right,
All
keep
right, we're
going.
almost done.
Yeah.
This can't go on. I'm rusting from the law. Can this still be real or just a crazy dream? But I feel drawn towards the chanting halls. Seem to mesmerize. Can't avoid their eyes. Sex, sex, sex. The number of the beast. Sex, sex, sex. The one for you and me. I'm coming back. I will return. I'm not possess your body and I'll make you burn. I have the fire. I have the force. I have the power to make my evil take its course.
Okay, like I like that last part of the song.
I think
Musically, I mean.
really it was just my lack of kind of interest or acceptance of the vocals, because I feel like that can make or break metal for me. It really can. Unfortunately, I've stopped listening to some really good music because I can't deal with the vocals.
Okay.
But I don't know. I didn't mind that. Maybe I've grown a little bit. Back when I had an opportunity to listen to Maiden, I was not really interested, but that was pretty great. I mean, the musicianship was stellar.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Didn't notice.
Okay.
But I just pay attention to different things, and thank you again for bringing certain instruments to my mind so that I can pick them up. But with these songs and lyrics, like that's what I'm going to be paying attention to.
Always. Well, you find things in songs that I've listened to 100 times when you sometimes overhear them, and you point that out, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is like an old song for me, but I never really thought about that.
Right.
So-
I think that's just how my brain is trained, like remembering song lyrics and picking them up, I guess, to be able to remember them.
Riding the brain train. Okay, so I think he's just telling a story, really. I mean, it could be a personal experience in some way. I don't think necessarily to him, but again, a fictional personal story for somebody. But I think, yeah, it's just, I don't know. And then in the end, like, did he just like turn over into Satan himself? Or
Yeah,
what?
that's what I think of that last verse.
Maybe conjured it up enough with the 666, the number of the beast.
Right. And who is the one for you and me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming back. I will return. Of course, that's an opposition. Okay. I have so many things to talk about in this last
All right.
little section here. Okay. Seem to mesmerize, can't avoid their eyes. That just feels like heart and a part. Like if you're in grade 8 and you're making up a poem and you rhyme heart with a part.
Ripping down
awesome.
on the semantics.
But
okay.
Again, I don't appreciate the lyrics
Okay.
and the delivery.
Right.
Okay. God, how many? I have so many things. Okay. The beast is a separate being from Satan.
Right. Okay.
So I think that in this song, it sort of is putting them at the same thing. But perhaps at the end, it's not Satan who is going to return. But I would think that biblically would be the case.
So who's the beast? What's the beast?
Well, I mean, there's a whole
Another
video
video.
for somebody to talk about that's
To be continued.
better equipped than I am.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I'm not the perfect Christian, and I certainly don't have very much of the Bible memorized yet.
Well, it's a big book.
Yes, but
Or a
I would
big
like to
collection
have
of books.
more of it memorized. But that is what I remembered, and I think it. I'm just stuttering here. When I read about it, it struck me because I've often thought of those things as being the same thing.
Okay.
So 666 is
So
not actually
perhaps
satanic.
it's safe to say that the layman who hasn't necessarily studied much of Christianity might consider them the same thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Not saying they are, but
I know. I'm sure like a quick internet search
Yeah,
would
yeah.
tell us the difference. And I'm sure people who are watching this or just like, you're not a very good Christian, can tell me, because they're a better Christian than I am.
So what else you got?
The last part.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the fire. I have the force. I have the power. So, the Force being Star Wars, and people using the Force, and specifically in a Michael Jackson song in the 70s, he is doing some like talking, singing, or spoken word kind of thing.
Okay.
And he says, the Force, it's got a lot of power.
Okay.
That sounded more like a different actor than Michael Jackson.
That's
there,
fine, though. I'm just amazed you managed to bring Michael Jackson into the conversation.
Okay.
Period.
So I've often thought about, Star Wars being satanic and the Force being satanic.
Okay.
And thinking about different things that Michael Jackson was talking about in the 70s that felt like this, or Luciferianism, like I'm clumping them all together under satanic stuff. So I think that these are the things that Satan is saying that he has the goods on, is power and force and fire. I mean, we would think that he has fire, because that's what's in hell in most depictions.
Okay.
But I think at some point I would like to have a discussion about Star Wars and the Force and that being satanic.
Sure, it's all Eastern philosophy. So if you consider Eastern philosophy the satanic, then to be continued.
Right? Cool.
Right. There was some Iron Maiden.
Watch, like, and subscribe.
Yes, please. Stick around.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.